Affinity Extra. Be extra.
The views and opinions expressed in this podcast may not be aligned to those of Affinity Extra.
Yeah, guys, this is your boy here watching more here on the Affinity Extra. We're here to be extra. We're here to talk about football, and we in a hangover Monday. A Holy Spirit hangover. You get me still anyway, but this is how we do it. Alongside my guest, DJ Marx, DJ Mello, the two DJs say, guys, let me just make sure you're in and make sure you're sounding. You there?
Yeah.
Okay, you guys. So the DJ's in today. So we wanna talk about one of our biggest influences in our lives. Mourinho. He's influenced Marcus in many ways. DJ Marx, you know what I mean? You know, from his days at Chelsea, he allowed Liverpool to get to the final of the Champions League many times. You know what I'm saying? And we always think about Denver Bar and how Mourinho has influenced Liverpool's folklore. And obviously, Man United. His beautiful relationship, and it looks like did Pogba's real talk. Did Pogba get Mourinho the sack?
I just think he just put the nail in the coffin. At the end of the day, yeah, he was on his way, man. He was on his way. I think Tottenham started off really well under Mourinho. They were flying. But I think if you look at his squad, he didn't play to the squad's strengths. He stopped them from playing. He did the same thing at United. When we were flying, all of a sudden, he's put the brakes on and says, yeah, let's defend for 10 matches. I'm like, bro, we're not made like that. You know what I mean? And I think the players haven't enjoyed playing under him over the last couple of months, definitely. Last 3 or 4 months. And I think that's ultimately taken its toll. But I think maybe what Pogba said kind of rung true with a lot of the players, and they may have contacted the powers that be.
Well, it's saying Marcus there because you know until you played Tottenham at home, there was a crossbar away, or what's his name almost scored to put them top of the league this season. I don't know if people remember that. You know, the young Dutch guy, he hit the bar against Liverpool, and then Liverpool scored a lucky last minute goal or something like that. Still, yeah. I don't know if you know, just you know, and Tottenham was controlling them. You know, obviously, DJ Marx had a different viewpoint with that, but at that point, there were people was talking about can Mourinho win the league with Tottenham. You know what I'm saying?
No, it was on a roll. It was on a roll.
Seriously, man. So
I think what you got to remember is that with Tottenham, they actually, regardless of what you might think of Mourinho, Tottenham themselves as a club, right now they have a good group of players in there. But my thought is that Mourinho basically was kind of riding the wave based on the quality of the players at Tottenham. Because let's be real, Mourinho hasn't changed his style of play since he left Chelsea. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, he's gone to Madrid and you know, come to United, all that kind of stuff. But he's played the same style of football, which is part of the problem that a lot of people have for him. I think it worked at Chelsea. He did a really good job, and let's not forget he did a really good job at Porto. But my problem is that the game is like anything else in life. It's progressed, you know, new ways of coaching, new players coming through and all that kind of stuff. And you need to be able to adapt to it. And I think his arrival at Tottenham, don't forget, Tottenham were already playing good football anyway before Mourinho. The guys had a good chemistry amongst them. And I think he's come in and he's been able to ride the wave of what was already there. But I think like if he was there longer, we would see a rapid decline in Tottenham, because I think right now his style of football is outdated, and it's not really doing anything for. And especially when you're talking about teams that want to challenge for the top level,
for top honors,
even if Tottenham were in a good position at one point, I don't think it would have maintained, because just the pure style of Jose Mourinho, he's not an attacking manager. He's just not. And in this league, you need to be able to score goals, and you need to be able to break down teams which are like parking the bus for 90 minutes and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know. I don't think he would have done. For me, this was inevitable. It was just a matter of when, and that was all there is to it.
Yeah. Oh no, 100%. But we have to salute Mourinho, though. You know what I mean? I think Mourinho suits the underdog. He goes into clubs that are not big, and he makes them. You know what I mean? Porto was an underdog. Chelsea's an underdog. You know, let's be real. Chelsea is not a big club. Yeah. When I say big,
I don't know if I'd say there was an underdog though, because even before Mourinho, they had some big cats coming through.
Oh,
there.
come on,
yeah, bro. Talking about man like Vialli and Petrescu.
Who was there? Listen, man.
They were ballers.
But they're all retired. Listen, let's think about Chelsea. Before Mourinho, you had a Ranieri, yeah, and then before Abramovich bought his millions, Ranieri was there doing his thing, and they had big ballers, but they're all retired ballers. You know what I'm saying? Zola, he was the B stock Roberto Baggio, you know what I mean, at the end of his career, and in the Premier League, this guy is Cantona, like he's special, bro. He's a B stock Roberto Baggio. You know what I'm saying? You know, sounds harsh, but you know, and at the end of the day, still, yeah, bro. We all know. We used to watch Chelsea, The Shed. It was a shed. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know what I mean? Let's be real. Chelsea is not a big giant club. Chelsea, I saw West Ham as a bigger club than Chelsea growing up. You know what I'm saying? You know?
Yeah. I think that's probably still true now. Still true as you're saying that, because when you're talking about big, I think people make a mistake when you talk about big clubs. They think about clubs that have won trophies maybe in the past 10 years. But really, you're talking about a big club is one that from establishment has been doing bits and is a worldwide name. So that's when you start talking about the Uniteds, the Liverpools, and stuff like that. I mean, even Manchester City, until they started getting their money, I wouldn't even put them in the thing of like a club. Like I said, you're definitely talking about, like I said, the Liverpools, the
over the last
Uniteds,
10
the Arsenals.
Over the last 10 years, you've got to put Chelsea in that equation. You've got to over the last 10 years.
When you're talking about the last 10 years, trophies won.
But
then when you're talking about like worldwide from establishment spread over, is known in like Japan, all them places from like years and years. Then definitely take teams like Chelsea, Tottenham. Not really ones that I would say I would give a look into calling them big clubs.
Right.
But the thing is, Mourinho, like I said, he's good at being at the underdog and the money underdogs. He did well as Chelsea when he first went there. You know, I remember when Man United went there and I think Scholes should have scored when they beat us 1-0 away, and I thought, there's something going on with this team, you know what I'm saying? And I remember that game, Scholes and Keith, and we almost didn't take them seriously. I don't know if you remember them in Chelsea when Mourinho first got, we didn't take them as a serious team. And you know what I'm saying? When they got to 10 games and they played Man United, it was like, who are these guys, man? They're not gonna go for the rest of the season unbeaten. But Mourinho has a way of doing things, and he's good in that scenario. Real Madrid, let's be real, they were second hand to Barcelona. They needed somebody. And remember when Real Madrid went to Barcelona and got absolutely battered, and in that same season, Mourinho turned it around. You know what I'm saying? And down with them and says, okay, let's play dirt. You know, when it's dark arts, you see Ramos. If you said to me that's Mourinho's nephew or godson, I'll be like, yeah. The dark arts just came out of Real Madrid, just oozed out. I mean, they're banging in
to the tree.
Yeah, they're just oozing out. Don't get me wrong, they scored record amount of goals. You know what I mean? So in the Real Madrid, he's an underdog and bully. He can work in them scenarios.
But you know what I would like to see from Mourinho, though, even though we're saying that, is especially when you think about the last 4 clubs he's been at, his success has come from him buying the team. I can't think of a club, any of the past 4 clubs he's been at where he hasn't spent a significant amount of money bringing players in. I would like to see him in a position where he goes to a club, he hasn't got the finances, and see what he does. Do you know what I'm saying?
But that's the same as Pep.
Yeah, it's the same. Yeah, Pep's in there as well.
Listen. I could inherit Rijkaard's team and do something with it if they listen to me. You know what I mean? You got Messi, Eto'o, you got all these big ballers in his team. Xavi, Iniesta, Busquets.
I would like to see them do something like what Klopp did. Take a team. Klopp spent some money, but I'm talking about in terms of like what would have been considered like world quality players. I would like to see them say, I'll bring some players, but they might not necessarily have the world tag on them, and form a team and see what I can do with them. That's what I'd like to see from people like Pep.
How did you slip Klopp into this, bro? Klopp's not in it.
I'm not talking about at Liverpool. I'm not talking about at Dortmund or anywhere else. at Liverpool, if you look at the players Liverpool has, okay, now we look at people like Mane, Salah, blah, 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 and we say, yo, these are big ballers.
Yeah.
But let's not forget, these are guys, Mane's not coming from a big team. Salah's a player that's been at how many teams yet just trying to build his craft? Do you know what I'm saying? I'm talking about spending
getting okay ballers.
Over 80 million pounds on like a
on
player.
Van Dijk.
Bring them in, which is what you know what I'm saying. So
but that's what I like about Pep, to be honest. This is why I've got to give Pep a little bit of props, because
why?
Fair enough, he's bought the best young players in the world, but at the same time, the young players that
he buys,
he works with, the British players he's bought in, like the Sterlings and the Fodinhos. You know what I'm saying? He's turned them into almost world class players. You get me? He's actually turned around them players. Them players can go into any team. Majority of the teams in the world now.
Who? Sterling?
You know what I mean?
Which players?
Which players there?
No, maybe not Sterling. Fodinho. I think Fodinho a shout. You know what I mean? And he's worked with other youngers. You know what I mean?
Was it a busman? Was Sterling a busman to Man City? Mark, you remember how much money was parted?
I've never rated Sterling only because he's black and he's repping JA. But outside
he's
of that,
JA, bro. He's repping West London, bro.
Yeah, it's true, you know.
Yeah. He don't rep. He'll rep JA once they get to the end of his career, and it says, Jamaican-born Sterling is about to finish his career in disgrace. You know what I mean? When they say that, he's gonna go, "Oh no, I should have played for Jamaica."
Go play for Mandeville Rangers at the end of his career.
Yeah, I was gonna do that right next to him in West London, bro. But nah, but no, I would. Pep, no, bro. Sorry, I have to go. No, Pep has spent X amount of millions on the defense and has just got it right. You know what I'm saying? Bro,
the system that he implemented
Mendy
that he put in at Barca, you can't get away from that. That's internationally.
Was it his system? Or was it Johan Cruyff? Was it Johan Cruyff?
It's touted as his system.
But Johan Cruyff was doing total football from a long time.
I know, but it's touted as his system. When he took over at Barca, that's when it turned around.
Was Barcelona a flop when he took over? Or did because Rijkaard was in charge? If Rijkaard was not a black guy, would they not talk? They don't talk about Rijkaard, because remember who won the European Cup? Who beat Arsenal? It wasn't Pep.
True. I mean, he was at Arsenal, but still, I hear what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? So I see him harsh against Pep. Give me Man City to you know what I mean, to
anybody could work some with Man City.
Bayern Munich, bro. You know what I mean? That's like getting a Celtic job. You know what I'm saying, bro? If you can't work that, you know what I'm saying? Celtic or Rangers, you got problems. And for me, Barca. That's why you have to rate Mourinho over him, because Mourinho had Porto and took them to the final. He got Inter and played a bunch of, you know what I mean, like over the hill men to win that final. You know what I'm saying? That's why I give it to Mourinho, to get the man over. He can work. He can bring that siege mentality. You know what I'm saying? Into it. But Marcus,
I don't know if I would include Inter in that. You know. Because I think at the time that he was doing what he was doing at Inter, I don't think there was like major ballers doing a thing in Italy.
No, that's what I'm saying.
There were some good players in there, so I think he was able to take a team like Inter and do. But if you see, for example, when he was at Inter, there was other teams on the level of like a Man United, a Man City, a Liverpool, still running things in Italy. I don't know if he would have been as successful. I think that particular period, there wasn't many like ballers.
Yeah, the competition wasn't all that.
Yeah, it wasn't as great as what we know of Italian football from over the years.
Oh yeah, 100%. That's why I'm saying to you, you have to rate him, because he got them, went to Barca.
He still proved himself in all those leagues, but I just think that he's not turned the corner. He stayed in one particular kind of vibe, and I think when you're working with certain kind of players that are experienced, his demands on them, are too much. They can't handle. Where, you know what I mean, he's used to players that can use their own initiative, and you don't have to keep schooling them every 5 minutes and telling them what to do. This batch of footballers now, this generation of footballers is slightly different. They're not overly, they're very technically gifted, but when it comes to the football mentality, there's not as many ballers out there that know students of the game.
That's 100%.
They know the glamour of the game. They like, how to make things look good, and little flicks and great finishes and stuff, and great free kicks. But when it comes to actually knowing the game, his expectations of this is what I expect from I'm expecting him to. When he talked about Luke Shaw, when he had problems with Luke Shaw, he was saying, well, if I have to tell a man where to stand or tell him what to do every 5 minutes and keep on him, then it's a problem. You get me? So he wanted players that had that mentality where they could think for themselves. Now, I asked them to do a job, and they could also think within themselves within that job that I've given you to do. But there's a generation of players right now that just look at the game as a glamour thing. Yeah,
man. I agree with that, because I think when you look at let's look at his most successful club being Chelsea. The players that he had underneath him, there was a level of intelligence they had there. Not only just that, but like you said, the mentality of the players was more of a hard graft team. You're talking about the Pogbas, Drogba, Lampards, the Terry, the Makalelis. These are players that
intelligent ballers.
You're getting 90 minutes solid performance. You know what I'm saying? Where I don't think that a lot of the players now, we're living in a social media football era, where that how they look on the social media is more important. You know what I'm saying? And I think
they're looking for highlights.
You don't have those players that will say they're gonna die on the pitch for you.
No, I get them.
Look at how you did then.
Look at Burnley at the weekend. Pure experience. They should not have been in that game at any point whatsoever. But because of the experience of how these certain players played, you could see they reserved themselves at times. There was times where they were just playing very, very simple, so they weren't killing themselves, because they don't have the energy for 90 minutes against the youngsters that United have got. But on an intelligence level, pumped it up to the big man up front every 5 minutes when they had the opportunity, and he held it up really well. He had no business getting the ball and collecting the ball half the time. Shocking defending, you know what I mean? But they played to their strength. There was one point where he played the ball up and he played it to, and the central defender, I think it was Lindelof. Went to the ball, and my man just said, on his touch. Yeah, I mean, those who know football will know on his touch. You get me? Because they know that he's not going to be able to take that cleanly. So I'm going to get it on his touch. As soon as he gets that touch, I'm coming in. That's experience. You get me? So, stuff like that, players aren't fit. Because I'm watching United at the other end, and I'm thinking, there's a simple ball there. Why have you not read that ball? You know what I mean? There's some runs that I'm seeing guys playing, making obvious runs. They would have been free as a bird. Ball's not being played. So it's simple stuff like that where guys aren't thinking those steps ahead at all.
And I think that's where Mourinho's downfall has been. But he's come from a generation where he had those kind of players, and now he's trying to implement that same mentality into players which are nothing like that. Like I said, we got the hardcore players to the players which are, to use Roger's term that he said to be earlier in the week, are all about the techers and all. Them things there now. You know what I'm saying? So it's a completely different generation, man.
Highlight ballers.
And the thing is, mentally as well, they can't take. I mean, I don't want to go into disciplining children, but these children now have no beatings, man. They're just pure. They're the pure naughty step children. You know what I mean? Good naughty step. Good naughty step.
Look at Bruno. The last 4 or 5 games. When I've seen his body language, the last 4 or 5 games. I know you say that I always got on his back, but at the end of the day, his head has gone. The last 4 or 5 games.
It's not gone.
Stay concentrated and stuff.
But this is what big ballers do. Yeah, you know what I mean. They say when nothing's working for you, just work hard. Run around and work hard. And the thing is, that's what Pogba doesn't do for me. If his pass doesn't work, he can't run around and chase down and make the tackles. Yeah, he's not putting no one under pressure. So that's
players like the Pogba and the Fernandes. They could never have run the way they're running under Ferguson. No way. Ferguson would have eaten them for lunch. Do you know what I'm saying?
Listen, the last 4 or 5 games, my highlight baller has been Pogba. His defensive duties as well as his attacking duties. Whereas Bruno has got away with a lot of stuff over the last couple of games. He's given away the ball blatantly in silly positions. Even like yesterday, he did it countless occasions. And if it was someone like Fred or somebody else like that, they would have made a big hoo-ha about it. You get me? Or even if it was Pogba. We don't see that with Pogba. Very rarely he's giving away the ball. And it's not being a target. But then there was times where Pogba's holding up the ball, waiting for guys to move and stuff like that. But he's not losing the ball. very rarely he's using the ball. You know what I'm
The
saying?
only problem with Pogba is that I feel like he's a feelings player. Depending on how he feels that day, depending on what you're gonna get from him on the pitch. You know what I'm saying?
If he feels like
He just needs ballers around him. He likes quality around him. He needs to have quality around him.
But I like players that don't need quality around them. They can drag the team, like Brian Robson, bro, through the wall and whatever they're still. Yeah, no matter what's around you. But I got a bit of a joke because even they mentioned to Roy Keane before the game yesterday. They talked about having the Black Lives Matter thing all around the stadium, and they said they got rid of the red because Ali mentioned about the red. It was confusing the players.
I'm backing that. I'm backing that 100%. Psychologically, even the red shirts back in the day, the red shirts seen as very, very easy to actually pick up your players and stuff like that. That's really, really helped United over the years. You get me? So psychologically and the actual. It's an actual truth, you get me? There's a science to it, you get me?
So Mello, you're coming like king, you know, when you talk about remember the grey game, the grey game and Southampton.
Yeah, I watched that game.
I was watching it as well.
Them tops, man.
You know what I'm saying? So as a non-Man United fan, Mark, you know what I'm saying? What's your feeling about this whole shirt colours mixing with the fans thing?
I think, okay, I can understand two different things. I mean, I think it's absolute nonsense personally, yeah, right? Because I think we're talking about the banners on the thing. I've watched Liverpool games, for example, where Liverpool's away kit has clashed so much with the first team, the other team's kit, that at half time they had to sort it over because the players didn't know what was going on, so it was affecting on the pitch. But that's a bit different when you're talking about players that's in proximity to you, that you're trying to differentiate in the quick moments here, right? Even that's your player or one else. But even talking about banners that's off the pitch, maybe like 2-3 meters away from the edge of the pitch.
Oh, if you're in bright red, nah, man. If your players are in bright red and everything around you in your eye line is in bright red, it's gonna cause an effect. You saw the difference yesterday. I saw a massive difference yesterday. You know what I mean? That's because I noticed it. I looked at the banners and stuff like that, and I could see totally big difference.
If United on the current form was to change that for next season, they should be walking away with that title.
I'm not saying that, but at the end of the day,
I can't believe the banners coming off of this.
Record can't get any worse. You know what I mean? He's got to try a thing, man. He's got to try.
Oh Lord! She see Michael Richards, your brethren there, bro. He's powering it off, you know.
Just my head in, man. He's just.
Yes, but it's all good. But I want to flip it up, man. Obviously, we paid homage to Mourinho. That's 100%. But I just want to touch base on one of the main subjects that we dealt with in the last podcast, which was concerning Kamara. Now, it seems like every time we come out the podcast, a development happens. So 2 weeks ago, we came out the podcast saying what's going to happen, and then we got straight notified. 1 match ban. We thought, okay, that's a total disgrace. We got on it in the last show and absolutely battered it. Yeah, you know what I'm saying about the 1 match ban. Then, as we come out, we saw, yeah, man, the guy got a 10 match ban. Then, Kamara got a 3 match ban on top of that.
Yeah. No, in fact, originally they gave him 5. You know, they gave him 5. They had to fight to get it down to 3.
Bro.
Joke. What message was that sent?
It just basically said, do not. And then on the weekend, the same for us to report racism. If we're gonna report racism, we're gonna get it's just basically re-emphasize the fact that basically don't say anything because you're getting into more trouble. The implications on you are worse. It just re-certifies that whole mentality. We have struggled as black people to knock up grievances of microaggressions and all these different things that we've had all these times, and then a blatant thing like this. But I must say, I know Anthony's not here to ratify this, but I must say what made me laugh is Arsenal playing them, bro. Of all the teams to play, bro, is Arsenal in the Europa League.
The blackest team out there at the top in the end.
Bro, I just look pure
and you
man.
Could tell the anger.
Yeah.
You could tell the anger and listen, they had a chip on their shoulder, bro. They were like, listen.
And the way the Slavia Prague was gripping with their black players, like holding them in, like you better, if you want to get paid this week, you better tighten them up, you know, like it's, you're one of us, mate. You're not one of them, you know what I mean? And then the way they got battered by Arsenal, oh my gosh, man, it's just like, Yo, that was
Arsenal was on one. I'm not gonna lie, they played like a different team.
Yeah,
they were just relentless. They just didn't care. It was not leaving that place without a win.
Yeah, man. And it proves that Arsenal can play a lot better, but also it proves that how inconsistent they are because then
outside of England,
because like look at Fulham, man. Like you know what I mean? They get in the weekend and they can't beat Fulham at home, a bit like ourselves. But you know,
exactly. I feel sorry for Fulham though, because I do like Parker.
Yeah. They've beaten Liverpool this season, but you know that you can't stay up with that part anyway. Still, yeah.
You know what? My issue with the whole Kamara thing is this year that particular action kind of feels like something that's gone back to like slavery days. Something would happen to a black guy. Yeah, he knew he had to keep his mouth shut. He's told by his master.
Yeah.
Don't say nothing, or this is what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Because how can you? And again, for me, right, whoever put that in place just tells me you have not experienced racism for you to understand why are people going to be act this way. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You've just looked at it and you've just seen, you got angry and whatever, but you don't understand the history, the dynamics. And that's the thing that people don't understand. That when you see black people are racially abused, it's not even just about that particular moment. This is a historic thing that we've been brought up with, that we know about our parents and everything. So there's so much into it. But they see it as very face value. Do you know what I'm saying? Forget about what it's about. I've just seen that you're angry. And the fact that you're sending out a notion that, you know, regardless of what's happened to you, regardless of the fact that we agree that this is bad, you're not allowed to react like that. You give a 3-match ban, because even when you compare it, okay, a 10-match ban, you're giving this guy a 3-match ban. Literally, what it is close enough to a third. You know what I'm saying, of what you've given to the guy.
They gave him half. They gave him 5. They gave him 5.
You know, and that's almost saying, that, you know, what you did is almost is bad as well. Come on now, this is ridiculous.
It is there, and I think that I think it just goes back to the. I think we mentioned it last week. I just on Samuel L. Jackson's. I was checking out. Remember that movie that he brought out, and he was the dad of a daughter who got raped, and at the end, the guy was gonna get away with it, and he's gone out and shut him up and says, "Listen," and this is the problem, guys, that people don't realize. If you're not going to deal with racism, there's gonna be some Samuel L. Jackson warnings going on next season, bro. Man will take up their things and deal with it himself. So it's important the authorities get on top of this, you know. Because
that, it came to a point. That's the whole reason why Kamara's reacted like that. Because it's not like Mark was saying. It's like, it's not just a one-time deal. This is a culmination of weeks and weeks, months and months, years and years of being abused like that. So why should you, as a black man who's not being protected in football right across the world, wherever you're playing in football, you taught, you know what? Get it. What orthodox back? It's just football, mate. You're gonna get that in football. Other places don't understand you, so they're gonna treat you in a certain way. But if you're standing there and you're like, your team's not even backing you, at the end of the day, nobody's picking up. The referee's not picking up. Who's supposed to be managing the game? You're gonna lose it. You're gonna, you know what I mean? You're gonna get to that point where it's like, you know what? I've got to make a statement here because nobody's fighting for me out here. Why should I have to accept this? Why?
But it's for me. It's getting to that stage because it's absolutely a joke thing. I see even in my own league, bro, it's like we're just they're just avoiding the issue like it's something to be, and this is what FIFA keeps on avoiding issues. But the problem is when you have so many black players and so many black people that love playing football, so it's gonna get to a stage where you never know, there could be a black Super League start up. You know what I'm saying? And when that starts up, these racist black people, they did it. But the thing is, if you don't create an environment for us to enjoy ourselves in and whatsoever, we have to create our own environments out there still, because then we're not safe in your arms. We're not safe, you know what I mean? And this is the problem, is the more fragmented FIFA is, what they don't realize is that we have no allegiance. I don't want to go too much into the Super League right now, but if we had to show is, bro, you go to somebody from Ghana and say, yo, come play for me 250k, or stick to or go play for Man United or play for Everton in the English league. But not, bro, I'm gonna get paid big money. You know what I mean? There's no, we are basically, when it comes to the love of the game, or this so-called game that everyone loves, we ain't been loved by this game, and that's the main thing anyway. So and that's for me something that we need to kind of recognize, that basically we are not loved in this whole context. You know what I'm saying? And that's like this, you know, when it comes to the guy, you know, the Prince or Duke of Edinburgh. Let's be real. We have no tie to the royalty, especially after the Meghan drama. We are so, as a people, disassociated with the system, your royalty. Basically. And if we say this aloud, I'm saying it aloud, like, you know, if you can be cheesed off me all you want. But the thing is, when we say it aloud, we're seen as disrespectful and this. But they're not willing to listen to the journey that we've had. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm trying to kind of like reach out to people to listen and understand and stop assuming and picking out. You cannot be getting 10 match ban for racism, then get a 5 marked down to 3 match ban for almost wanting to knock the guy out in the chain on the way down. How many things has happened in that what do you call it, the alley? You know what do you call that alley? You know when you go into the changing room, the tunnel. How many? Listen, guys. We know there's been punch up after punch up every season in the film. So why have they now? Listen, you tell me you wouldn't want to punch the guy if you go down there. Listen, bro, you know there's a ruckus going on that in that tunnel. Yeah, but get over it, FIFA. Behave yourself, because that ruckus happens every other game. Yeah. So why are you picking up on it now?
Now you imagine the Super League now, this so-called Super League. Yeah.
Go on.
Imagine. That's going to be a whole different story, because that's going to put us back on a base level. So there's not going to be anything in place to protect black players. You know what I mean? And because it's a very elitist as well, there's going to be going to take a period of time for them to build up those certain things for that particular league. So it's going to be even worse.
No. You know what it is, bro? You know, I slightly disagree. Yeah, I think it'll be such. If don't think they're going to do it, but. If they do it, it'd be like a clean slate. You got none of the old mentality. It'd be the NBA approach. It'll be the, you know, we talk about America. Yeah, but
you've got to remember who's at the top of it. Who's at the top of it?
Oh,
The Glazers are think, and they're all they're about is money. They're not going to spend on putting certain policies in place and rare. They're all about the Americanism or the American way of doing things, big as you possibly can, and we'll blag it on the way through. You get me?
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to put certain things in place. I really don't. But if they were, they wouldn't try to be trying to rip up the EPL out. They've ripped up the EPL at the moment.
Oh yeah. No. I hear you, but it's all about money. But so is the NBA, bro. And let's be real. And I did say in the last show. I said, listen, if it was there's an old England, is the old European mentality is all over football when it comes towards black people. There's that traditional looking down the eye from UEFA and thing. If you break that into straight up corporate mentality of just putting a Super League in place, you'll find them teams have more than pure black players in it. You know, I almost can guarantee it, and they'll get just about the pay. They'll have all the LGBT, all the racism rules in there. They'll say this is and they'll go from the angle. And they promote it. Am I not go there and get paid?
I don't think so.
Yeah. What do you reckon, Marcus, man? Am I being a bit too utopia?
Yeah, I think you are. I think
come on, it's heaven, bro.
I agree with Mello, because there's a lot of work that still needs to be done before this thing becomes something that. But like Mello said, there's the people at the top. The people at the top are the same people that are causing issues at the top and the ones that we're currently in.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Then it's going to take a while to break those things down. I mean, the only way that there could be any kind of change is if the individual clubs, the individual founding clubs that are there now, they kind of enforce their own like stuff that they've got from throughout the club, and they try to find a way to get that in there.
Okay.
But even them, don't forget, they're founding clubs, but they're not the overall decision makers. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even though they do get a big say in it. But like you said, Roger, this is all about money. We're talking about the difference between them going to the Champions League and getting 40 to 80 million to now being in the Super League and getting 200 million. Is a massive difference. You know what I'm saying?
The only reason why they're going to get more money is because there's less teams. You get me? And it's going to stay with them 15 teams. There's going to be 15 teams, and then the rest of the teams have to fight for 5 places. And those 15 teams can't come out of that league. They can't be relegated. It just takes away the whole of the competition side of things. And I think when you're talking about money and talking about putting the racial aspect into it and rare, if they cared about the people and the people on the grassroots level or the people on the ground level, the real people, and including black people, including LGBT, at the end of the day, if they really care, they wouldn't be doing what they're doing. They wouldn't be making it on that level. You get me? So I think it is a mess. I think Edward Woodward, he's gonna he represented 200 teams that European the ECA, European Clubs Association. Yeah, he represented them. He's just resigned. Yeah. Now that's the power that he had representing them 200 clubs. He didn't put certain things in place with regards to racism and stuff like that. So why would you think he would do that with his status that he's got with the Glazers? The Glazers are cheering up this Super League. Edward Woodward, he's going to be a main player in that. You get me? He didn't do anything while he represented these 200 clubs here. So why is he going to do that now with the Super League?
Okay, right. So, all right. Here's another angle from things, and this is the reason why I like Simon Jordan, yeah, because he comes from a different perspective, yeah. Right. We all doing over the Glazers. We all doing over all these owners and whatever. So we're blaming them. Goes back to the players. Who is being paid 350k per week right now? Mello, for Man United. Who's getting paid? Who is getting paid 300? Who's the most highest paid player at Old Trafford right now? 350k. Exactly.
The keeper.
Who's not even in goals right now? De Gea.
Yeah.
It's them man that are taking the mickey now. You know what I mean?
Nah.
So if you're paying man 350k, bro, you know what I'm saying, and you paid all these guys big boys, how are you gonna make money?
Yeah, but where did that start from at the end of the day? It's only because, you know what it is? This has come about because of the pandemic. And people losing.
No. They was losing money. Clubs are not making money.
It was a problem before. People spending money, and paying for all those things.
Football has a model where they spend too much on wages. Full stop. Too much money spent on wages. You know what I'm saying? Or 100% money. And basically, the players, the agents have basically hold the game to ransom. Now, they want to blame. No. Why don't you say to the players, take a cut? When it came to taking a cut for COVID, where were the players?
Yeah, and I think it's a mixture of what both you and Mello said. I think part of it is that the initial issue was definitely players' wages were crazy money, and we're not just talking about their weekly wages. We're talking about their sign-on money, where it's like the money going to the agents.
And the brand envelope.
All that money, so all that money is going out. But the problem is, like Mello said, is that prior to COVID, there was money coming in, so these things weren't highlighted. You know what I'm saying? They were making money to kind of like make up for that kind of stuff. But COVID hit, suddenly people not spending money on the stuff they were spending money before.
TV rights gone.
Yeah, TV rights gone, all that stuff. Don't forget the league stopped for a while, so there's all that kind of stuff where clubs are losing money. So now that's why they're at the place now where they're looking at government loans, they're looking at players releasing wages. If I'm getting 350,000 a week, right? A lot of them, how many of them was willing to give up that money? I think I heard of a few clubs where the players agreed that they're going to like let go of their wages and stuff like that. Right? Other than that, these guys weren't looking to lose their money, and the clubs felt it because you're talking about the difference between having two players. Well, no, let's say 4 players, and combined those 4 players are taking 1 million out of your club a week. Do you know what I'm saying? Just from their wages. Do you know what I'm saying? That's not including any other add-on fees that you've given them in terms of goal scoring, assists, all this other stuff.
Work for that. I'm sorry, but the work for that. Some of it's inflated, you're right. But if that's been your ambition from you as a youngster and you've worked so hard to get there, you don't know nothing else but football. At the end of the day, that's your future. If anything flops now, you get an injury, you're set, you're okay. At least you can survive, and you and your family can do what they need to do. You get me? But I think the way you're getting to that point was based on all the money that was coming into the clubs and stuff like that from TV,
it's not just based on that though, but it's not just based on that, because some people are speculating. Some clubs have spent what they haven't got. You know what I'm saying? And it's got really, really messy right now. And at the end of the day, still, the problem is the reason why we've had to pay De Gea 350 a week is because for him to sign on and not go to Real Madrid, let's be real, Real Madrid's after him, it was a 200k or whatever it was, or what, I'm just speculating 200k, I'm not saying it is, but I'm just saying it offered him less money, and when we come in 350, he's gone, boy, 150 extra a week, I'll stay in the rain in Manchester and miss out on the sun, you know what I mean, 450k a week extra, and like I said, the character of the players came in is when COVID lick, there was nothing that they came out with. Let's pause to allow the clubs to come through. No, and I can understand the low league players not being in that position. But as far as I'm concerned, sorry, if you cannot on 50k plus, yeah, if you cannot afford to take a 3-4 month break off being paid, you are being mismanaged. You are mismanaged.
Liverpool furloughed some of their staff. That was sickening, bro. They was gonna furlough some of their staff. They only changed their mind last minute.
Yeah, Tottenham was in the same with the same boat.
No excuses whatsoever. The players should have really taken a little bit of a cut and says, "Yo, let's look after this club."
But,
you know what I mean?
But
the thing is, it's not even just the wages, because even using the same thing we were saying before. Got Man United's goalkeeper. How much is he on? Like 300,000.
350.
That's just his weekly wage. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's getting, I think it's 58,000 appearances. So every game that he appears in, he gets an extra 58,000.
Clean sheet bonus,
all that kind of stuff. So
sponsorship.
You know what I'm saying? So you're talking about easily he's going over $500,000 per game. Do you know what I'm saying? Because we play a game a week, so might as well say over $500,000 per game.
Yeah,
you're getting. So
and he's chilling right now with his slippers on.
Yeah. So every month, right, you're talking about you're hitting at least 2 million a month. So you tell me from that 2 million you're getting a month, you can't say, you know what, let me take out 50,000 and just let the club.
You can't spend that. You can't spend it when you look at piece of interest. You can't spend that money. So there's no excuse.
And this is what I'm saying, Jordan, saying it. Basically, it falls back. I do feel that this is just like a flaming. This is just a little bit of smoke screen, because if you actually realize that a couple of weeks ago, FIFA's about to announce the changes in the Champions League. This is every 2-3 seasons. The super clubs kind of have a bit of a rant and moan, say we'll break away, and then it forces FIFA to look at what they're doing, UEFA to force how can we make the UEFA Champions League more for the champions? You remember when it used to be just knockout, the European Cup, and then it went into a little bit of a league situation, and it with preliminaries before that. You can get knocked out. Remember the days of Man United probably getting knocked out in the preliminaries before you get into the thing. Remember when it used to be only 2 leagues was on it, and Rangers there was only 2 leagues, and Leeds, Gordon Strachan going playing now for Leeds and all these days, and you had like Durant for Rangers and all them, Marseille. them in the days of the real Champions League. But ultimately they looked at that scenario. But then greed started to come, and then the second team got in, the third team started coming in, and then the fourth team, the fifth. All it does is forcing now UEFA to say, you know what, we're gonna include all the rich clubs in this situation. You know what I'm saying? And if they don't do it, they'll break off. Because how on earth is Arsenal and Tottenham in the talkings?
Exactly.
It's just a money thing, bro. Because okay, even with what you're saying there, right? UEFA could have made their announcement now, and I guarantee you that the announcement would have come out, and those teams would have still signed off for the Super League, because it's a money thing. Because there's nothing that UEFA could have put in place with the current structure, that would have given all the teams in the league an extra 150 million. Yeah, that's essentially what they're getting from the Super League, and that's just at the start. That's before the competition kicks off. They're getting 200 mil each. Do you know what I'm saying?
But bro, they're not even allowed to play in international games to be part of the Super League. That's how mad it is. How crazy is that?
But the thing is, it's a response from all the other leagues, because they responded. Everyone's responded like this. We're going to kick you all out. We're going to kick this. We're going to kick off. We're going to kick off. But the reality of the show is, guys, can the Premier League afford to kick out Man United, Liverpool, Tottenham, Chelsea, Man City? You kick them all out, bro. Who's watching the champion? Who's watching?
Thank you. All the TV rights gonna go out the window. It's gonna be like watching Sunday League football.
End of the day, still, they're talking at the backside, and it's so funny because I was listening, and like Murphy, because Murphy just does my head in at times and talk sports. Sorry, Murphy, but he chats some sense nice. He's like, Liverpool fans, they're not gonna take this. They'll kick the owners out and rare. It's just shut their heck up, bro. Yeah, you got no power. The clubs are fully owned outside by Americans. So just shut up, blood. We'll kick them out. How are you gonna kick them out?
The clubs are all owned. The clubs that are involved are clubs that are supposedly the elite in the leagues, but also the clubs that are owned by big businessmen. At the end of the day, that's all it comes down to.
Because the German clubs can't do it.
I don't understand why fans have a beef, and I'll tell you why. Because as a fan, isn't it just a case of you want to see whatever competition your team is in, for them to win and your club to get good money, bring in great players. You know, if that's going to still happen in the Super League, you're
man. But you want the competition,
though. You're going to sign players here, right?
Mello, do you really want a competition? You want a competition of
Bro,
Burnley?
I want a competition.
But I don't mind not. I don't mind not playing Burnley and playing Real Madrid, bro. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I know it's a local derby for you, bro, but I'd rather do without the Burnley.
If you look at the competition.
It's not about. So Mello's agent's calling up saying, "Why is he doing an extra podcast today?"
Nah, just let me know. Just be careful, son. Yeah.
but on the real, I don't mind. I like I'm not saying I'm down with the Super League. I don't think it will happen, but I'm a football elitist. I love Champions League. I love watching big clubs. I love watching. You remember the days of Batistuta at Fiorentina coming over
and 20 clubs.
Bro. It's the same.
But you say that though. It's the same. Right? If you think about week in, week out, what you prefer to watch, Bob, you prefer to watch the big games. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're gonna watch the Champions League to watch those clubs.
Yeah.
You turn. You know, if there's a game between Man United and Liverpool on one channel, and you know Burnley and West Ham on another channel, you're not gonna watch Burnley and West Ham. So you're still gonna go and watch the big teams anyway. So it's just a case of where the big teams are playing.
Listen, man, PSG.
But where does that lead? But bro, where does that lead the domestic league? And also grassroots football and opportunities for young footballers.
We don't get no money anyway, bro. This is the reality, bro. Yeah, end of the day, still, From when
but it's gonna be even worse now.
Bro, we don't get nothing. Let's get over it. It's local businessmen that supply to semi-pro clubs. Yeah, let's be real. Local guys in a proper buy the little pitches. It's the FA who have friends in posh areas that seem to seem to invest their money into suburban Astro pitches, but never come in the ghetto. But that's another thing. Let's kick racism out. Yeah, right. You've got, if you go up higher, the lower divisions, they don't get. That's what Big Picture was all about. But they don't get no money. They don't get no support from the Premier League. They get triple money. The only support they get from the Premiership is when you go in, when you get relegated, you get paid out. What do you call it? That payment that you get from
like a compensation.
Yeah. They get like a couple, like 40 mil, 30 mil, 20 mil because of the whole. That's the only thing that really trickles down. Yes, transfers trickle down, but the reality show is Mello. The clubs are getting all the youngsters before they're 12. So really, talent outside rarely comes through like a Vardy. When he has to work his way back up, a lot of players have been let go of, bro. And you know, they'll go all the way down and work their way up. Yes, we get it. That's great. But they've already been in the system. Look at McNeil. McNeil, McNeil is like a Lingard to me. Yeah. He playing for Burnley. He's found his zone. He was at Man United and he's got his zone at Burnley. Yeah. Now, if he was playing in the Championship, we'd say he's a very good Championship player. Yeah. But the way to show is he was bred at Man United and now he's a superstar in an OK team. You know. And there's loads of them. The same for Liverpool, like Brewster. Like, these guys are not elite players, but they do a job. Brewster was killing it for Cardiff last season, and he can't even hit the back of the barn door, whatever they call it. You know what I mean? They can't even lick nothing. You know, I don't know if Marx will criticize me for that, but Brewster was set up to be a proper finisher. You know what I'm saying? But he's flopped at Sheffield United ultimately. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I sounds crude. But in the day, there ain't no money going around, and really and truly, are the players prepared to take the cuts that are needed for the clubs to carry on with what's going on now? And they're too greedy, bro. As you said,
that's why you see players at clubs, bro. They literally, when it comes to contract signing, they sign the contracts based on what the club is doing. They don't have no leaders to the club directly. Basically, it's about themselves. I want to be at a club that's winning titles so I can get trophies and I'm getting paid. If you see about a club, you're not winning titles, and you're thinking just, I'll stay because we treat you good, we'll give you 90 minutes on the pitch. They don't care if they can go, that means they can sign somewhere else and go and win trophies. So I don't think the players taking a cut, you might get a handful of them taking a cut, but they're doing it for themselves. They want to make their money, so when they leave football, they have to worry about nothing. And that's all it comes down to.
Yeah.
It's straight money, and this is the problem. It's all money.
Listen, look at Mourinho. Even Mourinho's done that.
Mourinho's walked away with 93 million, bro. Like from all the exit things. He just like
sacks, bro. That's crazy. 30 mil.
Bro,
crazy, innit?
Bro, after tax, just call it 15, bro. What you gonna do with 15 million, bro?
Yeah, but
what
still,
what,
though, you know what I mean?
what do you do?
You can still chill for a year. You can still chill for it. If
Bro.
a job comes in, a job comes in.
Oh yeah, 15 years, bro. I'm chilling for the rest of my life.
Bro, that's what I'm saying. You don't even have to get up in the morning.
Bro, it's got a yacht, bro. It's probably get a yacht right next to Abramovich. It says, yeah, man. We get some petrol there. But the thing is, the reality show is, and one thing I would encourage.
Gazprom.
Yeah, you know, exactly. But last 10 minutes, guys, I do want to, like, even when I expand on the point that I was speaking to somebody about, and I know we ain't touched about football, but yeah, we got to talk about the FA, Man City and the flop in it. You know what I mean? Sorry, Man City. So we have to bring up the fact that basically Sterling.
I'm not sorry.
You know what I'm saying? Don't go. Mello's a secret. He's got a secret blue vest on underneath there. You know what I'm saying? All he does is talk. DJ Marx, bear with us. He's always calling Fordinho in it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? My cousin Fordinho, man. My cousin Fordinho. That's all I say.
I like Fordinho, man. I like the grassroots youngsters that come through. It doesn't matter what club they're at, but I support any young people that come out of certain adversities and doing bits out there. I support that. I love that.
I don't support Carragher.
Yeah, unless they're
okay, right. Cute Pep. Let's just deal with this right now, man. Cute. We talked about Pep earlier, yeah. How
Chest
great
too high. Too high.
He almost get knocked out against Dortmund, but wrestled it, yeah. You know what I mean?
Chest high.
And then Chelsea caught him out. How I know that you guys probably weren't really invested in the FA Cup right now, but how was you just thinking Pep?
It's still a major competition. To me, it's a major competition still. Yeah, I think a lot of managers do disrespect the FA Cup. You know what I mean? But I think Pep's had a bit of a Mourinho this year, because when you try to be too bright and make too many changes and come with your high chest thinking, yeah, look at my squad, let me just play who I want to play, it's going to affect the actual team. Because the team, if they're used to playing a certain way, in a certain kind of flow, the reason why, look at Solskjaer now, he's kept a core over the last, 6-7 weeks now. He's kept a core of the team majority of the time. You get
apart from the FA Cup, bro. Apart from the FA Cup, but the FA Cup, bro, he slipped up against Leicester, innit?
But that's what I'm saying. That's when he changed up the team.
Bro, what's wrong with these man? I don't know what's wrong with these managers, man. You're about to
is it the FA Cup or the other cup?
Changed it back.
FA Cup, man. FA Cup, he got kicked out on.
Yeah.
Is it the FA Cup or the other cup where they get a European spot? I can't remember which one it is.
It's FA Cup. It's FA Cup. They lost on the weekend. And then he's got Tottenham. And then he's got Tottenham on next week, which is probably going to absolutely.
If you win the FA Cup, though, you get the European spot.
Yeah. And the other one, and the card, you both get European spots. You know what I mean? And obviously he's not interested because he's going to win. He's going to be in the Champions League. But he had to show is that, as Andy Cole said afterwards, he was laughing because he says, as long as they don't do our treble, don't beat our treble. You know what I mean? Man United forever you do that treble. You have the fake treble of Liverpool. What was that fake treble, Marcus? What did he win for that fake treble? It was it Charity Shield?
And that Super Cup this thing.
What did he win to win the fake trouble that he did?
Don't get me started.
Was it the UEFA Cup, the Coca-Cola Cup, and I don't know what's the other cup? The one below.
Don't forget when Liverpool won the title year, right? Recently, we did the Premier League, we did the Champions League year, right, as well as the World one as well. So.
The world is just a friendly, bro. The World Cup.
No, you know what?
Listen, it's world. It's world. That's all I care about.
Bro, that's not a bad return. That's not a bad return for 30 years.
That's cool. Yo, Marcus is ready.
Not a bad return still.
I've not even started in Mello, man. It's only 30 years with the Premier League, but we was winning Champions Leagues and other European Cups and all that kind of stuff along the way anyway. So,
On FA Cup, you know what I mean? We won't talk about Eric Cantona. But anyway,
Sorry, what about the news? What about the news that Klopp may be resigning? That's come out today. What do you think about that, man?
I think it's all media hype. I don't think Klopp's going anywhere. He's made it very clear that he's dedicated to the team. Even in terms of with their current form that they have, it's just a blip. And if you know Klopp as a manager, yeah, he will be too proud to walk away from Liverpool when they're in a dip.
When they're flopping like that,
he would want to live on a high, even if they wasn't winning. But he would want to leave them on a place where he could. Everyone will say, yeah, he's done a good job at the club. So with this season, for me, that just guarantees Klopp's there for another 2 years unless the board say we're getting rid of you.
True.
No. Yeah, Klopp ain't going nowhere, man. I think Ollie's not going. Only clubs there. Everything's all. I'm just looking at the news now. Everything's about this big 16, this European City. It's all about that. It's not gonna happen. It's all there anyway.
It's not gonna happen. And Klopp best not go anywhere while there's still man like Arteta about. So you know.
I'm still puzzled about the Arsenal and maybe the Arsenal, but the Tottenham inclusion. I think that's very interesting. That I don't know why.
Bro, again, it's just great chairmen. They just have a certain elite club, bro, and they play golf. The German clubs can't do it, bro. From when you can't put Bayern Munich and Borussia Dortmund in that mix, and you can't put PSG, and you can't put Ajax in that mix.
So Bayern in it. So Bayern aren't in it then? No.
Yeah, no, because they're 51% owned by the fans. So that's the part. And this is the thing is, you know, the people sold these clubs and they floated them out and whatever, and this is what we reap. And I'm afraid this is the big talk anyway, man.
But that's good though. I like that. I like that the fans are an integral part of it.
Yeah, no.
I think the only reason that Tottenham got into it is because if you look at the structure of what they've done, they've literally tried to take the top 4 teams from each of the leagues. So once you do the whole Man United, Liverpool, Man City thing, right? Then the only other ones that are left to fill that spot is Tottenham and Arsenal. I was saying, other than those two, who else is bigger than them in the current Premier League right now? There isn't one. So I think that's why they've got in. I mean, if you're talking about history, like what we were saying earlier, then maybe you're looking at the West Hams and stuff. Yeah. But if you're talking about those that's coming in terms of like the past 10 years, media hype and making the names, so then you're definitely looking at the Tottenhams and Arsenals.
Yeah. And also in London, that's the key thing.
Yeah,
if you're in London, Manchester, there's no Aston Villa. there's no
Midlands, mate.
There's no Midlands at all. Total flat Midlands are when it comes to these things. But guys,
I'm surprised though that they've kept, because if you look, I think the Premier League is the only one with 6 clubs in that league.
Yeah,
I think because
they know they're the ones with the money.
We made up six teams, yeah.
Because they're the ones with the money. They're the ones that make the most amount of money for Europe.
Oh, and like Tottenham's got a new stadium, Arsenal's got a new stadium, Chelsea's doing up their stadium. You know, Man United, Man City, they're just givens. You know what I mean? There's nowhere else to go. You know what I mean? They're just ready made for this thing. You know what I mean? And I think that what people have to realize is that, you know, that they're just totally ready for it. But I'm going to flip onto a little late stories, because everything seems to be centered around the Super League. Sorry, people, if you want to avoid the Super League talk, sorry, it's unavoidable in football in the next couple of weeks.
It's impossible, right?
Yeah, it's very impossible. But I have to say again, St. Maximin, I keep him rating him as a young player. Is coming through. He's making impacts, and you know, dare I say it, in a 3-2 win over. There's a 3-2 win now. Imagine, guys, yeah, we're 20 years old watching Newcastle and West Ham. Do you imagine a day when you see everybody on the pitch scored were black players? Yeah. So Diop scored an own goal, so that's a black player. Joe Linton is black. His hairstyle gives him away. I like Diop though. You know what I'm saying? Willock scored the winner for Newcastle. Diop scored the header for West Ham, and Lingard scored. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, could you imagine the two? And I would class them as not really black and proud clubs growing up as a kid. It'd be like West Ham and Newcastle were like hardcore. You know what I'm saying? But you know what?
West Ham is one step from being another Millwall, mate.
yeah, for real. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? West Ham, and it'd be interesting when the fans come back and we're taking the knee. Yeah, it's going to be such an interesting situation. Next season, and I don't think people are gonna be ready for the responses. I don't think people are ready, because we have got away with the utopia of nobody in there. When players are gonna be taking a knee, you're gonna hear some of the true essence of angry, working class folks.
And you're gonna hear some new chants, some different chants are going to be coming through.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. You know what I mean? It's because
this ain't Jamaica. This ain't Jamaica.
Oh my goodness! And Mello's got them already, man. Mello's in that group, you know.
Have a banana. Have a banana. Have a banana.
Mello sounds like he's gonna be hiding in the car in the white hood over his head.
Listen, man, Mello's there. He has to put his mascara on in the morning before he goes. He goes to Old Trafford, man. He'll be like this, going, "I'm one of you lads. I'm one of you." You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Instead of white chicks, it'd be white man.
Yeah, man.
But definitely great one. I have to keep on saying every week. Mello said it. You know, many times. I like what Fulham's doing. I like what they're doing. And it's such a shame. Again, we look there. Look at the scorers, Manger and Nikita. You know, we have to salute again black players for scoring.
Are they going to stay up?
Fulham? Nah, bro. I don't think so. They are 6 points behind, and the game played extra than Burnley.
Yeah, they're on the brink, aren't they?
Yeah, they're not gonna do it. Albion's got 2 games in hand and got 24 points. So if they win the 2 games in hand, which is highly unlikely, they'll be 3 points behind Burnley. You know what I mean?
Yo, Sheffield got 14 points. Is that right?
Yeah,
man.
Wow,
that's what happens.
Fulham can make it, yeah, but they're relying on Burnley slipping out. If Burnley lose their next game, then they're only 6 points. So they need Burnley to go on a bad run for Fulham to stay up.
Burnley are fire right now. I'm sorry, they were unlucky yesterday. They were fire. But United was on point yesterday, so because of the banners.
Okay, guys, it's official that Mello is saying that basically, if you're gonna put if Man United won because they had all please report racism all around the banners there in black and white, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And, that helped the vision of the players at Old Trafford, and that's official from Mello. But listen, guys, we're closing off the show now, you know what I'm saying? But listen, what I will say, yeah, I'm getting a bit peed off with all these different drives towards racism, and I'm thinking, let's report it, but get 15 bans. It's just a really complicated situation, and I would have to say to everyone who's listening in or watching in on YouTube, what I want to emphasize that I have got a few people that I'm lining up, hopefully a police officer, just expanding on some of these things. I'm going to bring them into the conversation, and we're going to be breaking up with them, and hopefully we'll be using a few people kind of impressed with what we're doing, some professional footballers in as well, so we can batter them and say, yo, sort out the podcast, get us up. No. But but at the same time, to ask them the real things. I'm going to reach out to a footballer, but I'm sure he plays for St. Vincent as well. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You know, and Grenada. Can't remember he said. I don't St. Vincent's not an island that I'm kind of familiar with. I know it from West Indies, but St. Kitts, that's all I hear growing up around me. St. Kitts, Jamaica, St. Kitts. So St. Vincent was like, okay, yeah. But I forget that's the grenades and it's all connected up and whatever. Yeah. So I'm sure. So I'm sure my friend, he's a professional footballer, and he plays for who's he play for? I'm sure it's Barnes he plays for, centre back, and it goes Hillsong, Birmingham. As far as I know. Yeah. So yeah, but listen, you know, we're gonna try and pull out our people in high places, but we need that conversation, and I think it's really important that I think the truth, people need to be truthful. We can't afford, no offense to the guys that we looked at that video with Wolves, no offense to them, but we need to stop being blinded to what's happening.
And actually, the man puts the foot in around. For real. It's like they're not keeping it real. It's
just being safe for the jobs, you know what I mean? 100% safe, 100% safe. So, just in the last question, guys, for the show, the last question is, who is going to win the Champions League? It looks like nobody wants to go first.
Who we got left now? What is it, Bayern? Bayern got knocked out.
That's PSG all day, man. PSG.
You think?
PSG will beat Man City.
Yeah, definitely. Stones can't handle Mbappe.
That's real talk. City are looking a bit fragile at the moment, unless they're just saving it up for the Champions League. But I can't see them getting past PSG's attack. Defensively, but I think attack-wise, you're not troubling PSG, really. Who else is in it?
If Guerrero's not fit as well, if he's not fit, Relying on Jesus to get past PSG, yeah, the game's over.
No, man.
I know. I hear that. And the other one is Chelsea. Can Chelsea do it again, guys?
No.
No, they're not ready to see. Not this season.
That's what I thought last time. Remember
Chelsea have got a way. They've got a way of doing things sometimes. I don't know what it is, but they find a way. Tuchel seems to have brought some sort of shape and stability to them as well, getting the best out of them. But
Chelsea against PSG, right? It's going to be
not
like
enough.
Yeah, it's going to be like Ricky Hatton against Mayweather. it's a different class when you go there, man.
It's true. PSG's got experience as well as just raw talent. Just like, yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, then. So you both going for PSG, yeah?
I'm going.
I think. Well, who else is there? Really, realistically,
look at Real Madrid. Listen, they know how to win, you know. All right, guys. I'm saying Real Madrid.
For the final, though.
Was that? They'll deal with Chelsea and they'll get to final.
Got enough goals in it.
Eh?
I don't think they've got enough goals in them at the moment.
But the thing is, they can defend. They defended against Liverpool.
Defend. Very good
defended against Liverpool with no defenders. You know what I mean? Yeah. So the second defense rate. So Zidane has a system. Zidane is a winner. We have to realize this man is a winner, and everyone talks about his skill, but he played in centre midfield, bro. You know what I'm saying? And to win stuff that he won in centre midfield next to man like Edgar Davids, yeah.
I can't see them having anything to hold Neymar and Mbappe. Neymar's waking up again as well now. So really, I can't see past PSG. Can't see past them.
Okay, cool. I reckon Real Madrid will do it, and it will justify Liverpool being kicked out by them, and they feel better from seeing that anyway. Still, you know, you know, that's where it goes. Okay, guys, last question. Okay, UEFA Cup.
Who cares?
Yeah, I'm with Mello. Like,
who cares, man?
Who cares?
I think United. To be honest, I think United will do it, but who cares?
United getting knocked out by Roma.
Huh?
United's gonna get knocked out by Roma, and it'll be a Roma.
Why are you
talking
like that?
Yeah, but
see what I can't handle you. Why you talk like that? I don't understand.
You see,
really don't understand why you talk like that.
Roma's
got nothing for us. Roma's got nothing for United. United can deal with Roma. That's not an issue.
Listen, bro. Like, I ain't saying that I haven't, but you know what Ollie will do?
Roma won't be able to keep pace. Roma can't keep pace with the Premiership teams.
David James will be on the right wing for that game starting, bro. And we'll put that.
We'll still win.
And he'll put Van der Vaart in behind and rest Bruno and have Pogba on the bench and have Fred, you know what I mean, next to Matic.
You know what though? I'm not gonna lie.
It's good to do
Ollie, as much as I don't back Ollie at all, at least we're starting to see a core and a kind of shape coming now, or a kind of style of playing now. Literally over the last couple of weeks. So I think
I'm going to go with Arsenal. No, let me say. Listen, let me say, yeah, Arsenal the only team that have not lost any games.
That's what's the Liverpool head you're putting on there.
Listen, Arsenal love that cup. They're the only team of all the teams that's there that's not lost any games, and in terms of goals conceded, have hardly conceded any. The only team in the whole thing. It's like they're engineered for that tournament.
Who they got next?
I'm not sure.
Villarreal.
But literally, I mean, they won all their games. Every other team lost at least one.
It's Villarreal and the old manager, Emery. He's managing at Villarreal, and they got him next.
I think they'll beat Villarreal.
But it depends. Let's be real. We saw the eyes of them players. They wanted to kick some backside. You know what I'm saying? Whenever there was a level of motivation. It's like they must have had phone calls from all their black players in the Premiership say, "Yo, turn them over for us, man. Turn them over." So then what happened
at the weekend?
That's what I'm saying to you. Yeah. That's the problem.
The only team in there that I can see Arsenal might struggle against you, right, is literally Roma and Napoli. That's it. I can't see them struggling against any other team. They'll give every team in that league a good game.
Napoli are decent. I don't know if they're that decent this year, but
Napoli's out though. Napoli's out, man. So the reality show is, guys, it's gonna be an interesting one. All I know, guys, is that I am saying I would like Man United to win. but I still think that Oli hasn't proved that he can get past the semi-final yet. Yeah, the mockery that he made out of the FA Cup, absolutely mockery. Yeah, that's where we at right now. Mello, what you saying? You don't care about the Europa League? You know what I'm saying? But he's shaking his head because he's too scared to make the decision.
Well, I'm not scared at all. I think United will win it. Simple. I'm not scared.
DJ Marx, you watch it, DJ Mello, you know, he works with his two, you know, emotional people. Yeah. The two.
I'm not though, you know. I'm very calculated. I'm very calculated. I weigh up things. You get me? Look how United's 8 points behind City now. What did I say to you at the beginning of the season? I'm not saying nothing. I'm not saying nothing.
He was saying Oli out at the beginning of the season.
Let's watch and see, yeah? Remember this conversation, yeah?
But it's all being recorded, man.
There you go.
What you saying, man? It's still Arsenal. Okay, right. So you heard it first. PSG. I'm saying Real Madrid. And when we hear it, Man United. Which I reckon?
Arsenal. He's saying Arsenal.
He's saying Arsenal. Oh gosh, I'm gonna think about. I think
you're gonna go with Roma.
That's the point, you know. I'm gonna be funny, you know. Villarreal. I'm gonna say Villarreal will just mess up the whole cart. Yeah, I'm saying.
I disrespect that, man.
They'll get in the final, man. You know what I'm saying? No, they got some deadly striker, man. Watch out, man. A young
dead, full stop. Yeah.
Yo, if I'm right, you know, I'll have my yellow shirt and, you know, some submarine shirt ready for next season's Mourinho show, man. Straight, man. But now, guys, thanks for your time and everything like that still, yeah. And like I said, we'll definitely have these samples sampled up and we see who has knowledge. We'll try and bring in some things, but obviously, man, like DJ H are too busy in the daytime. He's got, you know, all them things. We drag him in there when Liverpool's in the Europa League for next season, and we bring his quality into the mix anyway still, yeah. But listen, guys, word up for this. Thanks again, guys. You are listening to the Roger Van Marino show. Do check us out on all platforms, especially YouTube, on the Things Extra. Do, you know, his whole like subscribe thing that everyone says to do. Just do it, man. You know what I mean? And we're here. Even ask us questions, man. You know what I mean?
Like button.
What's that? Yeah, man. Press the like button, and if you dislike, even press it as well. Because we say make comments, guys. Comment, hit us back, ask us questions, ask us how we feel. We want to be real, and we want to come from a black perspective. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because at the moment, we feel that media, whether it's black or white, is coming from a white perspective. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Just to add to that, real quick.
Go on.
Tottenham's been taken over by my man's going to be managing it now.
Oh gosh.
I remember. Yeah.
Who's taking over?
What's his name now? I think he's one of the assistants that's taken over, but it's him and Chris Powell. Now everybody's saying that it's just this other dude. Nobody's mentioning Chris Powell, but it's a joint manager. You know, they're taking over joint managership.
Is it Ryan Mason?
Ryan Mason. I'm sure it rings a bell. That sounds about
One
right.
second. Ryan Mason is a boy to Chris Powell.
So you know who's really managing, but nobody's mentioning Chris Powell.
Chris Powell.
Time.
Oh, for God's sake, bro! Why you starting a new podcast now, bro? Why you starting a new podcast right now? You just started a new podcast, yeah. You know what I'm saying? They're bringing the young boy, and then the next to experience black man manager, yeah, who's been around, done it all, knows what it is, and he has to do it underneath. Anyway.
Well, they only mentioned it once. The first time when they mentioned it, they said it's him and Chris Powell's going to do it. Ever since then, that one time they mentioned that Chris Powell's involved. Every other broadcast, whether it's Jordan or any of them guys,
it's Mason.
They all said it's Ryan Mason.
Yeah, it says Ryan Mason.
It's Ryan Mason and Chris Powell from what I'm seeing, but they're just it looks like they're just holding the spot for Klinsmann at the moment. So
they can have him. They can have him, bro. You can have him all day, bro. All day long.
I see that. That's madness. That'd be a madness.
Oh Lord, bro. It's the way it goes anyway. Still, yeah. But listen, Jose Mourinho anyway. He's got all his Jose Mourinho honors here anyway. But listen, guys, thanks again. Like all your things, guys. You hear it first. We did it fresh off the press. You know, we'll get to the fact is we'll talk about black managers in the future. Trust me, we always will get there anyway. So yeah, that's like a cycle that goes round and round and round and round and round and round. It never ever stops anyway. So yeah, but guys, thanks again. Let's salute you guys.
All right,
this is Roger Van Marino and out. God bless you all. Thanks again, Marx, man. Everything, man. Bless, man.
Visit us for updates and shows at affinityextra.co.uk.